Hey, what's up, guys? So this is my week 9 recap. I started the week off with a decent size loss. I was trading OXBR. Uh, I learned a very valuable lesson. It came down here and hit uh, the final target price, and it bounced. And once it hits the final target price, it should be dead. Uh, I was looking for this thing to pop up to the 435 area. I shorted with I thought I was doing good with having a tight risk. This one obviously was not a very tight risk. This is a 20 cent loss right here, which is not good. It ripped up here. Um, it halted. When it opened, it popped up. I started seeing it kind of topping out over here. I shorted, came back up. I only went in with a half size here. Uh, Pretty sure I messed this up. So, second. It popped up. I got nervous that it was gonna go over my entry, so I covered. It came down here. I was seeing this top up. I shorted right here. I remember this thing was I was like, if 142 starts chipping, I'll take it off, and it just I recorded the tape so I can ask Jay, but I saw on the ask um, a wall of sellers, and it was just gone. It kept on popping up here. It chipped down a little bit, but then it dropped, chipped down a little bit, dropped, chipped down a little bit, and then it just ripped. And so I had a pretty big loss on this trade. My next trade was PED. I had a good trade on this. Um, it popped into the pre-market consolidation area, and when I saw this thing going up, I shorted a little bit of FOMO. Um, I cut it off quickly, then it just tanked. I After that, I waited for a little while. I saw this thing going up. I saw it topping out here. I shorted it when it started falling back down, risking this high. I covered a third, covered another third, and covered my final third down here. This is a pretty good win. Then I traded a deal. I saw this one coming up. I've been having a lot of success with our gap and extension play. Um, Started seeing this thing coming up, topped out here, pushed up, topped out here, stopped pushing up here. But if you look down here, the volume's getting lower. We have a guy in a mentor named Meta, and he was saying that if you see it popping up on much lower volume, that get ready to expect a fail. And so when this popped up, I was just like, I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to risk this high, not this high. Right here, I shorted here, covered down here. Then when it started curling back up, I thought it might have another curl back up, so I cut it off just in the money. Uh, this right here was my my record win. This is the best win I'd ever had. Then I went to NTRP. Had a small loss on this one. Um, I saw this coming up. I saw it topping out a little bit lower, a little bit lower. I didn't have the best fill. I was trying to top ticket. I shorted here when it popped up. I was worried that it might get some more volume, and I cut it off. I wanted to have a small risk. And then I got a little bit of FOMO right here. I was also watching another stock, so it kind of took away from my concentration. Um, I can watch up to two stocks, but I have a hard time sometimes if they're both in play at the exact same time. I'm not very good at managing that trade right now. Uh, and so I took a small loss on this. This one's not a good trade. I mean, I was top ticking it, so I mean that is good. But um, I don't know, I think I should have waited a little bit longer. I had a little bit of FOMO. I should have I've been looking for like a pop up close to here, but it did just have a big sell off. Usually when you have like a decent sell off, it does have a nice little bounce. I should have waited to see if it had more of a bounce, but anyways, I got my win back on CTEC. This thing was came up. It topped out. I wanted this area up in here. It didn't hit my target, so when it came back down, it hit my indicator. I shorted it. I covered when I saw it bottom out down here. I covered when it curled back up. When it hit the indicator again, I shorted it again and then recycled the shares and had a nice, decent little win on this. And then I absolutely killed this stock yesterday. So I had a couple of scratches on this. I shorted here, covered here. I shorted here, had a decent, a nice little win here. Then I cut it off in the money. When I saw this thing topping up over here, I waited for a second push. I shorted right here, risking this high. When it came down here, I covered. But I mean, this is almost a $2 move. So this is a huge, huge win for me. And then I got it way down over here. Pretty sure was my final cover. But this one was twice the win as my previous record win. Actually, like this is like 2.5 of my previous win. Then at the same time, I was trading this one. A lot of people in the room just killed it on this stock. I did not. I ended up having a small loss on this one. I shouldn't have been shorting down here because my plan was to short up around the $1.80 area. So this was complete FOMO. Honestly, I kind of think that it might have been like a little bit of overconfidence at the same time because I just killed it on the stock the day before. I had this. I did short it up here with a tight risk. Saw it falling down. I was going to cut off if it did break 188. It didn't. I covered. It came back up. I thought that I was going to be able to short it here and ride it all the way down. It went against me, and I had a small loss on this. And then today, I have another big win on where the heck XTNT. So I'm actually still in this one right now. I had a small scratch. I shorted here. I cut it off right away. I saw this thing topping off, double top right up here. I wanted to see a second push. When it pushed, and I saw that it couldn't. It had no more energy to get over the $2.50 area. I shorted right here, risking this high. When it started curling back up, I did get nervous. I cut it. I was like, because this is a high institutional ownership. So my mentor was telling me telling everybody to not take this unless you're a pro trader. Unfortunately, I don't know. Like I don't know if I should have taken this or not, but I have more of the personality of like I felt confident with it, so I wanted to take it, and I'm learning right now. So if I am going to mess up, I'd rather mess up on lower size than when I'm taking this with like say 4 or 5 thousand shares. I want to have all the data there so that I know how to take the trades. Uh, I cut it off just in the money. I saw this thing topping out again. I was just like, oh, sweet. So the volume's lowering. It's not even able to break this one. It's definitely not going to be able to break this one. So then when it popped up here, I had to make sure that I shorted on the top tick. I shorted up here, covered half, covered fourth. I recycled some of the shares over here. I was asking my mentor because there was an area right. I don't know if it was this candle or if it was this candle that I was questioning on because one of my indicators or two of my indicators, one goes over the top of the other one, and it's a bullish or a bearish signal saying that the stock's just gonna kind of drop after there. I want to see if I should cycle in some more of my shares, but since I added in a fourth of it over here, I didn't want to then add in another fourth and then drop my average, so I decided not to add to it. So I still have a position in here. I'm looking for this thing to get down to the 135s area. If this thing does pop up, my indicator's right around 147, and so we're gonna kind of see how that how it reacts to that. But I really do think I will see 135. This has been by far the best week I've ever had. I got back all my you know initial losses last week, and then this week it just kind of I just took off. I've already kind of exceeded my expectations of uh, the money that I'm trying to get on average at the end of the week. Uh, I can already see that it's definitely a possibility that I can do this full time. I don't need a ton of uh, money. I don't make uh, a huge amount of money at my full time job, and so if I can trade like this with this smaller size, I'm already doing good enough that I could see it being a possibility. And if I start sizing up like a lot of the other members in the room, then I will have absolutely no problem. I truly believe that by the end of this year mentoring, that I will be trading full time, and that honestly it just gives me more fuel to really push myself and try. And I'm putting in more hours now studying than I ever did back in high school or anything like that. Like the only other thing that I've ever put this much work into has been kickboxing, and I've been one of the top amateurs in the United States for like 10 years, and so I think that if I can have that same work ethic in stocks, that I think that the sky's the limit, and I'm getting that uh, excitement, and it's something new. It's a new challenge, and I don't know. I'm just very very happy that it's starting to turn around. So I told you guys that if you kept on tuning in, that eventually I would have some videos where I'm not uh, beaten down and sad. So here you go. I'm finally I'm not killing it, but as far as my my last 2 years of trading's been, I am killing it. But I'm very ambitious, so I have very high goals for myself, and I'm taking the very first baby steps in the right direction. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.